What am I looking for? What are we looking for when we're looking for a deal? What are we looking for? All right, so we're not going to dive too deep onto cash on cash. That's a different video, and too deep on the equity spread we're looking for. I'm not going to get too deep into terms right now. I'm going to show you an example on the underwriting. Now, there's videos that break down the underwriting better, and there's videos that are going to go into the cash on cash a little bit more. But let me show you real quick on this example. We bought this deal, Rocky, Alicia, Andy, and Show. We all bought this deal together. Rocky found it on the market. It was a tough deal, but all along we knew there was some value add, and that's what we're looking for. We're looking for value add potential, right? Okay, so don't get too lost in the spreadsheet now, but I'm going to, in case you're not as familiar and comfortable looking at this spreadsheet, which you can download from this video. But look, we're paying this. We're going to do some improvements here. Here's our mortgage or interest. These expenses are roughly what the seller is doing, which doesn't really matter to us. We've gone in and we've looked at rents. We've compared them to our competitor rents. Here's where we are at. The average here, so here's top of market value, 67.92. So we're at 50, 67, 59, 92, 101, 134. Those are top markets. Now we don't know if the top of the market is a much nicer product, so you have to find out. But here's some that are right next to us: 59, 75, 101, 105, 136, 145. A little bit more expensive right here. 136, 160, 148, 196. Overall, looking at these numbers, here's our facility, here's our competitors. We're low on rent. Boom. Check box, or box check. Okay, so going back to the underwriting. So we've identified that we're low on rents. Great. So we then, year one, meaning after a full year of stabilization, we plan on being somewhere around here. You can see our rent increase from here to here. Again, I'm not getting into the underwriting on this video, but this second column here represents our year one projection, year two projection. So this video specifically, what I want to show is, if we take the facility over with about a 37% expense ratio at their numbers, we do a rent increase. More importantly, we get to where we think our expenses are. We're showing 38 on our underwriting. Right now, we're actually, so we already own this. We're about 5 months in. Our expense ratio is a lot lower, which is great. We're doing right around already our pro forma, which is great. That 189 at 12 months is about $15K a month. We actually hit $17K this month, which is awesome. But let's go down. You see at this, we're at a 10 cap. Okay? If we hit our year one, we're already at a 10 cap. And now if we continue, we go look in year two, we're at a 14 cap. Well, cap rates, I'm not going to get into. There's another video that can break down cap rates. But we're increasing value, and that's what I care about most. And I have to make sure that I feel very good about our projected rent increases year after year. So in year two, at a 12% vacancy, with an expenses down to 33 because we've made more revenue, our revenue goes from buying the facility at 152 to 245. If you're increasing revenue, your cap rate's going up. If your cap rate's going up, it means you increased revenue, right? So if we're buying a facility for 1.6, putting 160 in, so 2-3, we're a little about 330, 1.33 something, we're all in at, right? And we've bought it for 1.3 at that. We've done a lot of value add, and now 2 years later, we're making 245. So check this out. Calculator. Oh, you know what? We'll do it. I forget we can do it together on the screen. So calculator, I never use this calculator. Okay, cool. So we're making now on year two projected our gross revenue here. And now my calculator's gone. 245. Okay, cool. So 245, 245,000. I'm going to times that number by 0.65. What does that mean? 35% expenses I'm going to take out of that number. Boom, 159K annually gross revenue. I'm going to divide that by, I think conservatively, a 7 cap is what I think we could exit for. Not as big of a facility, not an extremely nice neighborhood, but it's South Orlando and there's a lot of activity there. And so I comfortably, based on what I know, think that we can exit for a 7 cap, maybe even better, I think, depending on the right market, the right time, and where our revenue's at. But let's say 6. I'm confident. I'm not going into cap rates. They're complex. Also Google and see what other people opinions on what a cap rate is defined to be. Boom. So what this is telling me, I've taken our gross revenue year 2, I've taken away 35% expense ratio, and I've divided by a 7 cap, which gives me an estimated value of $2,275,000. So what does that tell me? This is showing me that we can buy the facility for 1.33 with all the bells and whistles, and a year later, if we hit this pro forma, we have $1 million revenue increase. Equity increase. We've added $1 million to this facility. That's just revenue. That doesn't even tie in that we fact that we're doing new roofs. We've done painting. We're doing some asphalt. We're putting in a gate, a fence. This is what makes me want to buy this deal. I see the room to raise, right? The room to raise rents. I see the room in the growing revenue, increasing the cap rate. We're increasing value by operations. This is the kind of stuff that makes me buy deals, guys. I see very clearly in this underwriting a spread of around $1 million roughly. Now for fun, let's do the same thing. And let's go 245,000. Let's just check this. Let's safety test this. We're going to take 35 expense ratio. Now let's divide by an 8 cap. I don't think we're going to sell it at an 8 cap, but just in case. 1.9 million. I thought it was going to be worse. We're still making about 600 grand, 550, something like that. And these are rough projections, but see why I feel so safe about buying this deal? I've looked at the markets. Everybody's very full. We know that we're below market rents, and we know we can out-operate some of these guys. So us thinking that we can raise rates not even that aggressively and take this in 2 years to a 14 cap roughly, and if we had to exit at an 8 cap, which I think is very conservative, we're still looking at more of an evaluation of closer to $2 million. So, do I think we're gonna lose money? Definitely not, unless something catastrophic were to happen. Knock on wood, right? That's why we buy deals. Let's do one more. We're gonna do 445. This is year 2 projection. We're gonna take away 35% ratio by doing times 0.65. Let's divide this by a 6 cap, which I think is possible. Why did it do that? That's so weird. 2,654,000. We've increased $1,300,000 roughly, 1.3 million. So guys, I feel very safe. You see the spread? Last thing we'll do real quick. 2, 4, 5. These is why cap rates are so important, and they're tough. You don't know. Cap rates are all over the place. After a while, looking at deals over and over and over and over and over and over, you kind of get a general idea of what a going cap rate is in a market, depending on the size, the quality, and it fluctuates with interest, right? But general idea. So that's why I'm being very. Let's cover our butts in all ways. Let's say some crazy thing happens, and we got to exit this thing at a 9 cap. 1.7 million, 1.76. We still have made money. When I see this kind of stuff, I go, there's plenty of room on the table to make money. The value add is very clear. The market's full. We're low in rents. even if things suck, but we make it to our year 2 pro forma, we've added value. That's what I'm looking for. Guys, hope this helps. We'll see you on the next video. Yay!